I'm really sorry I'm wearing all the same shirt in all the videos that I filmed on this day. I'm really just too lazy to change in between videos, so sorry. And I'm bulk filming, so I own more than one shirt, I promise. Hey guys, Carolyn here. Today I'm going to be doing a video for my 20K Q&A. I don't even want to say anything else because I got so many questions from you guys. I think I got over like 500 comments on that video. So some of the questions are repetitive, so I won't be answering every single one, but I will try to cover all of the topics in all of the questions. But that means we need to just get started right now, or else this video is going to be way too long. Also, I'm going to try to be very efficient in answering these questions. I really should have just done a live stream. I don't know why I decided to do a video. But anyways, so let's go ahead and get started. I won't be saying usernames because, like I said, a lot of these questions got asked multiple times, so let's get into it. Also, they're all on my computer. I tried to transfer them to like a note sheet so I could use my iPad, and I just didn't. So yeah, we're just gonna do this. First question is, if you become a trainee, which entertainment company would you want to be a trainee of? Label SJ. That's it. That's where I want to be a trainee of. Yeah, I don't really trust anyone else. Or Big Hit. I kind of trust Big Hit, kind of. How to deal with the realization you slowly unulted a group. It's happened to me and now I don't know what to do. I think the best thing when you're changing ultimate groups is to remember that when you've been with a group for a while, the group is going to change and also you're going to change. I think it's completely natural to be more interested, especially with so many groups debuting these days. Definitely possible to be more interested in a different group if your ultimate group that you're slowly unulting is going a different direction. But I would wait a couple comebacks. If it's really not working out, then I would do it, but I wouldn't do it before then. I like to do these things very carefully. How did you get into K-pop? What inspired you to start a YouTube channel? So I got into K-pop. I actually made an entire video about this, so I will link that. I will link any of the videos I've made about these topics in the description box, but I will link that video because it's too long to explain here. But I got a lot of questions about like what my first song was or what my first group was, so I will explain that here. My first song was G-Dragon's Heartbreaker, which is a bop. You should listen to it. And my first group was Big Bang. After Big Bang and like Girls' Generation and 2PM were like my first groups. What inspired me to start a YouTube channel? So I started a K-pop parody channel where I did fake subs on music videos. That was my first channel. It was called mgirl0523. It still exists on the internet. And I switched over to this channel when I moved away from all of my friends who got me into K-pop. I used to live in Seattle and all of my friends who got me into K-pop lived there. And then the summer before my senior year of high school, I moved away. So I started a chats channel where I could talk on the internet to people so I wouldn't feel like I was the only K-pop fan, because I was the only K-pop fan in that little country town I lived in my senior year of high school. And also I saw a lot of people on YouTube doing unboxings and ranking videos, and I really wanted to do different things besides parodies. But my parody channel had about 19,000 subscribers at that point, and I didn't want to add different kinds of videos onto that channel, so I made a second one. Craziest thing you've done as a K-pop fan? Definitely when I skipped my first day of school that was run by the head of my department in college to see Infinite live. I missed his class, did not tell him about it. He gave me crap about it for the rest of my college career. It was a small department. He knew exactly who I was and that I was supposed to be in his class and was not there. Also, I have switched my work schedule before so I could buy BTS albums in Target. That's probably the craziest things I've done. How would you define underrated in K-pop? I would define underrated as groups that really don't rank on the charts. Nobody knows who they are and nobody talks about their comebacks or knows about them. I definitely think that this word is overused in K-pop. And how has K-pop helped you develop as a person and get through difficult times in your life? It really has, honestly. I think that K-pop has made me a very hardworking person, because I see all these idols like training their butts off, and I'm always like, if they can do that and then get like 2 hours of sleep and do this, like why can't I do this homework assignment and get an A in this class? Like 100% can do that and go to the gym. Like why can't I do all that? So it's made me a very motivated person. It's definitely made me want to work really hard and strive to be the best person that I can be. It's also been a great comfort along with this YouTube channel when I've gone through really hard times in my life, because when I go through really hard times in my life, I tend to just throw myself into work and not think about it, which is probably not healthy, but yeah. First song you heard from your alts. The first song I heard from Super Junior was Sorry Sorry. The first song I heard from Infinite was their debut. First song I heard from Monsta X, also their debut. First song I heard from After School was Virgin, I think. No, it wasn't. Not even close. It was Bang. 100% it was Bang. And then for A-Pink was their debut song. I'm an old K-pop fan. I've been around for too long. If you could only listen to one K-pop song, which one would it be? Infinite's Be My. Actually, no. Infinite's Last Romeo, I feel like is my current most played, like, repeatable Infinite song. What's the most annoying thing about being a content creator in the K-pop fandom, and what's the best part of it for you? The best part of it is the community. I love the community. I think that being able to talk to K-pop fans all over the world and spread the love for K-pop is super amazing, and I love how much K-pop has grown since I've become a fan of it. My least favorite part is definitely the comments that are 100% troll comments. Like, they are so annoying. They're really annoying. But I think it's a lot of people who don't watch the full video and then comment something negative. That's like what annoys me, because I'm like, but you didn't watch the full video. You didn't understand. Anyways, what's a song you really don't like but you wish you could? Basically, The Boys' entire discography. I wish I liked The Boys a lot more than I do. How many photo cards do you have in total? Too many. I have like 4 binders full. I don't even know. Multiple hundreds of photo cards, I'm sure. First album I bought with my own money, I think was, oh my gosh, where is it? Super Junior's repack of No Other. That was the first album I bought. So version C of the album. Wasn't my first K-pop album, but it was the first album I bought. Who is the first trainee you noticed on Produce X 101 and your ultimate one pick? I still think my ultimate one pick is Johan. I love him so much. And the first trainee that like really grabbed my attention, I think it was Johan. Yeah, it was Johan. He's still my number 1 pick. Which Produce series was the most unfair in terms of screen time? I think the most fair one, I feel like season 4 was pretty fair with screen time, especially towards the end. Not really in the beginning, but towards the end, I feel like I knew every single boy pretty well. Like watching yesterday's episode, I was like, I know all of these boys a lot. The most unfair, I think, was season 2. I went into the finale, still didn't know some of those people very well. Also, season 3, Produce 48, I did not know like any of the Japanese girls' names like at all. My ultimate bias is Donghae of Super Junior. What's your favorite generation wave of K-pop and how has it been as a long-time stan to watch it progress over time? I like 2nd and 3rd gen. A lot of people argue about what defines 2nd gen and what defines 3rd gen. My definition of 1st gen is all the way to 2005. 2nd gen is up until end of 2011. 3rd gen I think is 2012 to 16 or 17, and then we're currently in 4th gen, I think. So I like 2nd and 3rd gen. I think a lot of really, really powerful groups came out during those times. It's been interesting to watch it progress over time, because I used to watch variety shows in 8 parts with very low quality video and low quality subs, and now like companies do it for you, put subs on it for you, and you can buy K-pop albums in American stores, and you hear songs like BTS's Boy in Love on the American radio, and I think it's just crazy how far we've come. What's your favorite title track from Super Junior, Infinite, and Monsta X? Favorite title track from Suju is Bonomana. Favorite title track from Infinite is either The Chaser, no, it's BTD. Monsta X, my favorite title track is All In or Shine Forever. ITZY's comeback is soon. Will you be buying their album? It looks so pretty. I pre-ordered both copies of ITZY's comeback album. So, what is one song from your ult you rarely listen to? I never listen to Infinite's Back. I think compared to every other song from all of my other ultimates, Infinite's Back is the one that gets neglected the most because I never listened to that song. If you could design a K-pop album for any group you like, how would it look like? Size, colors, photo book, extras. So it would be book packaging. Photo book would be attached. It would be like this size, and probably about this, maybe a little thicker than this, so the photo book could be a little thicker. Photo cards, you would get 2 photo cards from a single set, and you would get one other like transparent card. I like transparent cards a lot. Colors, I don't know, something colorful and fun. I have a lot of very neutral colored K-pop albums. I need some more colorful and fun albums. Have you ever done a K-pop cover? No, just in my shower. Do you support many solo artists? Who's your favorite? My favorite female solo artist is IU, and my favorite male solo artist is Wisung. Jungkook has become one of my other favorite solo artists, but I do like a lot of solo artists. I follow a lot of them. Do you have some kind of goal as how many albums you want? How many do you have right now? I have not counted in a long time. Probably have close to 600 K-pop albums. I do not have a goal at all. I just want to collect groups. The number really isn't that important to me, which is why I don't really keep track of it. What made you start biasing Jin from BTS? I didn't really have a say in the matter. My bias was originally, if you go back and watch my first unboxing of BTS, which is their debut album, I mentioned that Jimin or Jungkook are potentially my biases. And Jin became my bias when I think when I started watching more of their like variety stuff is when he became my bias. But I just really liked his personality, and I tend to bias people that I think I'd be really good friends with if I ever met them in real life. So yes. What song makes you feel better when you're sad? Anything by my ults, honestly, makes me feel better when I'm sad. Favorite photo card of all time? I'm really too lazy to get my ults binder right now, but this photo card of Donghae is so cute. He is so cute in it. It's my favorite photo card. What's your favorite group that you don't collect? I collect really most of my favorite groups, I guess. I'm gonna have to scroll really far down for this because I collect, I guess, Astro. Number 27th on boy group. Astro is, I don't collect them, but I love them. Twice for girl groups, because everyone above Twice I collect. Are there any K-pop opinions you never shared out of fear of them being too unpopular, controversial? I won't say what they are, but if there's any like opinion I have that would upset someone who ults this group, I tend not to say it because I don't want to upset people. What got you into collecting K-pop albums? My first K-pop albums, this illegal version, where does it live? I think it's in my jewel case shelf, but was an illegal version of Super Junior's Bonamana album, and I also got 2 illegal DVDs. My dad went to China on a business trip, and he picked those up for me back when I was getting into K-pop back in like 2009, 2010. So when I realized that they were fake, because I learned on the internet that they were fake albums, I wanted to buy real albums to support the groups. And once I started buying K-pop albums, I could not stop. Oh, I got into K-pop in 2009. I don't know if I've said that yet, but main reason why you're biased is your bias in your top groups. Oh man, I don't know if I should go through all of them right now, but Donghae is my bias because he is like my number one role model in life. He has been through so much and he has come so far, and he is so successful and so kind, and he is just like an overall perfect human being who can rap, sing, compose, dance, you name it. Donghae can do it. I'm sure he can do a perfect headstand. We've just never seen it. Like Wooyeon and Wano are a lot of the same. Sungyeol, I just think he has the brightest personality, and I think he is so incredibly amazing and so underrated and not appreciated enough. But I think he is also just like a really good person and a really high quality friend to have in your life. Bomi, I think she's just so goofy and so true to herself. Like she seems like such a genuine person. Same with Reina. They just love them both. Have you ever questioned yourself for your K-pop related purchases? Sometimes when I buy 4 copies of the same album, I'm like, you know what made me really question my K-pop purchases was when I bought my BTS Persona albums, and I had to ask a store employee to find the 4th version for me, and he was like, but why would you buy all 4? And I was like, you're right, why am I buying 4 copies of the same album? I don't know. Top 5 biases. I do have videos of this, so I will link those down below, my top biases. Did your parents have a problem when you started to collect K-pop albums? No, because I usually used my own money. Back when I was like a child, I would use babysitting money, or I would get allowances for doing stuff around the house, and I would use that money to buy K-pop. And then now that I'm older, I am also simultaneously saving money for life in general, and I'm paying for my own school now and all that stuff. So which of the 3 protest groups did you like the most? I think I liked 101's lineup the most from the 3 groups that have debuted so far. Song-wise, I think I like ITZY's music the best. Do you find you bias a certain position? I tend to bias vocalists who are also lead dancers or main dancers in their groups. Very weird that I gravitate. I have other biases who fit other descriptions, but it's usually lead vocals or main vocals who are also lead or main dancers. Do you ever regret buying an album? No, not really. Do you ever think you don't have time for standing listening to so many groups? I definitely go through periods where I don't listen to a lot of the comeback albums, and then I listen to all of them at the same time. I think I have time for it, because I usually listen to the albums while I'm driving or while I'm doing other things, like other work where I can just listen to music in the background. Dream vacation. I just like when I go on vacation to sit on a beach and do absolutely nothing. What is a reason to why you love K-pop, and what song, music video? So I already answered song and music video, but the reason I am so into K-pop is because before, when I was into just American music, I was a child. I was like 13, 14, which I know some of you are, but I'm a lot older than that now. And American music was just so slow for me. I would find myself listening to a new album every single week and obsessing over a new thing every single week. And then I found K-pop and I was like, but a new thing does happen. A new relevant, like, discovery, new thing happens every single week. So I really like that I have something new to listen to every single week in K-pop. Go-to songs, both K-pop and non-K-pop. I don't listen to a lot of non-K-pop music that's not on the radio. Go-to song is really just my ults playlist. I have a playlist of all of the songs from my ults and I'll listen to. Top 5 things you love about Monsta X. Do you still have albums from groups you unstand? I don't have albums from groups I unstand. I tend to sell those away. Top 5 things I love about Monsta X. Their flawless discography, their variety presence. I think they have a really strong sense of teamwork. I think they're a very balanced group. I think they're all a very visually pleasing group. Every single member of Monsta X is very visually pleasing, and they all look together. Like they all look really good together without looking like they're the same. They're all the same person. You know what I mean? Like they have a variety of visual types. I don't know what that means, but you know, sometimes you look at groups. I feel like this way sometimes when I look at the boys, and that's just because I don't know them very well. I'm like, there's a lot of boys that literally look the same in this group. And then you look at groups like Super Junior, where they're all super different looking. Like they're all very different looking. And I feel like Monsta X has a lot of different, they have like the softer visuals, and then they have the like more intense, harder visuals. I don't know. That's just, yeah. What attracts you to a group? Music is the most important thing. Having members that seem like they all interact well. When a group first debuts, you can tell if they've been training together for a while or if the lineup kind of changed last minute. You can tell. Feel more natural together and actually seem like they really enjoy being in each other's presence. Opinion on Monsta X Puppy Days. I have not had a chance to watch that yet. I really want to soon though. Do you prefer old K-pop or new K-pop? I like both, but I do miss how not crowded K-pop used to be. I missed that. Now there's just so many comebacks and so many groups. I do miss when it was simpler and all the groups knew each other, and they were all friends, and you can see that in a lot of second gen groups. They all know each other. Your opinion on UHSN and white K-pop stars like Sophia and Lana. So I don't know who Sophia is. I do know about Lana, and I do know about the UHSN. I don't think there was anything wrong with UHSN because it was just a temporary like show that I believe has ended now, and they released one music video for the fun of it. And I have seen that music video, the Popsicle music video, and it was all right. I think that the girl that was the main vocal was pretty cool. I didn't really mind it. I didn't watch the show. Lana, I don't really have a problem with white people debuting in K-pop because it never really works out anyways. So, you know, as long as you don't pay attention to them, they tend to go away after a while. Chad Future though, man. Yeah, no, never again. But yeah, what upset me was that Lana almost got a win, and I don't think her song is anything impressive, and I don't find her stage presence impressive, but I would say the same thing if she was Korean. Yeah. I've said things about Korean solo artists who have debuted recently where I've been like, you don't have any stage presence. Why are you a solo artist? I think I would have preferred Lana to be in a group because, like I said, her vocal ability is not that impressive. Her dance ability is not that impressive. I don't like that she tries to edit her photos to make herself look more Korean. No, don't do that. Favorite group that came from a survival show? Monsta X. K-pop idols you look up to? Donghae of Super Junior. I also really look up to and admire Bang Young-guk. I love him. Would give my life for that man. And S-Coops is 17. How did he survive in Pledis' basement for so long? I'm still confused how he made it that long without seeing anything besides that green practice room. If you remember the green practice room, you are an OG K-pop stan. What song do you show people when you introduce them to K-pop? I don't like to push K-pop on other people unless they ask. But I do tend to show them BTS because a lot of people have heard the name BTS. So there's already that familiarity. And then if they enjoy BTS, my next step is usually Monsta X. or NCT. One of those two groups. For girl groups, I tend to lean towards, like, I've shown G-Idol to people before because they knew about them through the video game song that they did, and I've shown Blackpink to people. And way back in the day, I played Super Junior's entire discography for one of my friends, and now she's a big Suju fan. What do you think about K-pop spreading out around the whole world, and do you see something negative coming with that? I think that there is no way for K-pop to expand as much as it has without some negative effects. And I think we already see a couple of these negative effects, but I am happy that it is spreading. I just, like I said in a recent video, hope that we don't start getting English albums. And what dramas are you currently watching? Well, I'm very bad at it right now, but I'm watching Angel's Last Mission Love, which is Myungsu's drama. Very good. That's all I'm watching currently though. I'm very behind on it, and I don't have time to start anything else right now. Some underrated K-pop groups you would recommend to people and why? A lot of my underrated K-pop groups recently really like vanished off the face of the earth, but right now I really like VAV. I'm also very into this boy group Limitless that just debuted. They have it's Jang Moonbok, if you know Jang Moonbok, but my favorite member in that group was one of my favorite Produce Boys from season 2. His name is Sungwoo. His stage name is AM, but yes, he's in that group, would recommend. CIX are debuting soon. They have Bae Jin Young from 101, so I don't know if they're really underrated, but also two boys from YG's Treasure Box who escaped. So yes, they were two of my favorite boys on that, along with Junkyu, should have left with them. What did you do? Anyways, who else do I really... Madtown is a group I used to promote a lot, Cross GN too, but they really fallen off the face of the earth. Also, Victon and Uptension. I'm sure that they're not as unpopular as they used to be now, but please stan them. Favorite rookie group so far? I'm just gonna go with this year because I've been in K-pop for a long time. So favorite rookie groups from this year, I think boy group, my favorite one is AB6, and girl group, we're only halfway through the year, and girl group, my favorite one, it's probably ITZY from this year so far. When did you start standing Luna? I started standing Luna around when Cherry debuted, I think, with her solo single. What do you think of Mnet in general, evil editing, etc.? I think they evil edit a lot. I think a lot of Mnet shows are very scripted, way more than but I do appreciate that they make some things very accessible to international fans. Do you have any other hobbies besides collecting K-pop albums? I really don't have enough time in my life to have other hobbies, but I am super into journaling. I'm a planner. I love planning things. I currently have a planner on my iPad, which is the only reason I've survived the past 2 weeks of being in 2 different schools. I also work out a lot in my free time, and I walk my dogs, and yeah, that stuff. What makes you stan a group the most? Music or personality? Music. Because there are groups I love, but I hate their music. Do you think your channel has improved ever since you started it? Oh my gosh, so much. I watch my first video sometimes just for the fun of it, and yeah, I've come a long way. Even in the past 2 years, since I've invested a lot more time into this channel, I've come so incredibly far. So yes, I hope you also think my channel has improved since I started it. Which K-pop concert did you love the most? Infinite. I keep saying that, but besides that, so I've seen Monsta X twice. I'm seeing them again this summer. I've seen Infinite, and I've seen ITZY live as well. The first time I saw Monsta X, was that my favorite? No, the second time I saw Monsta X was my favorite time I've seen them so far. But we have Ult VIP tickets for LA, so I feel like this upcoming one's gonna be my favorite. But for Infinite, it was my first concert. It was super close up front. It was the only concert I've been to that hasn't been like super hot outside, and because it was winter, so it was super cold. I don't know, it was super cold in New York City. Oh my gosh. And I was super close to the front, and so it was just a great concert. I haven't been that close since Infinite, except for this upcoming Monsta X concert. I will be that close. Do you have any siblings? I have one younger sister who is 2 years younger than me, and no, she does not like K-pop. Can you say your thoughts on Khan finally leaving Pledis? Maybe thoughts on Pledis not saying anything about after school. Khan leaving Pledis was kind of unexpected for me. I thought that her and the other girl that was on Produce 48 with her were going to do something together under Pledis, and I don't know what happened to that, but I guess that she left because of that. I hope the best for her in the future. I feel very sad every time I think about after school and Pledis not saying anything about them. Like, it's become a joke to them at this point, honestly, not saying anything. Like, what are you waiting for? Would you ever travel to Korea? 100% would travel to Korea. What's your favorite K-drama? Bridal Mask. It's so good. It's my favorite K-drama. And Ojakyo Brothers was a really good one too. And I like the Reply series a lot. Thought that was all very quality. I've watched so many dramas. What is one of your dream K-pop collaborations? Honestly, if any of my ults ever like breathe near each other, I feel like it's the best day of my life. What are your expectations and hopes for Suju's full group comeback? I definitely want a darker concept from them, but also if they stick with the Latin theme they've been going with, I love that for them, so they can do that. I want like really good screen time. I really want it to feel like an old Suju comeback, like we get an A version and then they release a B version and then they release the, which Play kind of was, so I hope that they continue with that for Play. I honestly don't know how many like full group comebacks Suju will get for the rest of life, but I really hope it's a lot, but I just really want this comeback to be like super special and for SM to put a lot of effort and a lot of anticipation into it. So how many groups do you actually stan? I count standing a group if I know all the members' names and if I like their music. So 65. Actually, it's probably closer to 70 because I have ties. If you only had one Monsta X album to listen to for the rest of your life, which would it be? Definitely The Clan 2.5, The Shine Forever. Have you ever thought about ulting another group? I have. I have played with the idea of ulting another girl group, which I've decided is not happening. And I've played with, this year alone, have played with 2 other boy groups. Ulting them. It's not ATs. Everyone thinks I'm gonna ult ATs. It's not ATs. But yeah, I have decided not to ult them. I'm not really sure what my main reason was for not ulting those boy groups. I think it was because they're so expensive, both of them. So favorite type of concept. I love summer concepts. I love tropical house music. What's your guilty pleasure K-pop song? My guilty pleasure K-pop song is definitely Winners Every Day because everyone else literally hates that song except for me. I love that song so much. What's your favorite song from ATEEZ? Definitely Say My Name. Were you ever embarrassed of liking K-pop? What do your family and friends think of it? I think definitely when I first got into K-pop, it was a lot weirder to be into K-pop than it is now. Also, I'm not like a crazy, like I don't push K-pop on every single person I interact with. I really don't mention that I listen to K-pop to a lot of people unless we're just casually talking about it. But I have definitely, when I first got into K-pop, got made fun of a lot for being into K-pop, and it made me very embarrassed. Family don't really care. My friends who I've known for a long time don't care. None of my boyfriends have ever cared. They've never been into K-pop. None of my boyfriends have ever been into K-pop, but they do not care either. So I don't know. It's just music. That's kind of what I always like make it out as. Like, it's just music. And I feel like now when you hear K-pop everywhere, now it's become a lot easier to listen, or a lot easier for people to understand about it. Current song are you listening to on repeat as of right now? I really need to download music. I was thinking about this on my drive over to my house today. The song that I guess I've been listening to a lot, SF9's Round and Round, Chungha's Snapping, and both the Produce songs Move and You Got It. And I've been listening to Pretty Pretty quite a bit as well. In your alt groups, was your bias always your bias, or has it ever changed? So my original bias in Super Junior was Heechul, so it did change. It changed pretty quickly after I started watching. I watched every single variety program Suju had been in as far as up to 2009. When I started watching those, I really fell for Donghae, but Heechul is still my second bias. Infinite, my original bias was just Wooyeon, and then it became Wooyeon and Seungyeol. Again, once I started watching variety and stuff from them. My bias in Monsta X has always been Wonho. My bias in A-Pink has always been Wami, and my bias in After School has always been Reina. Why did you decide to upload videos on YouTube? I kind of already answered that question. It was to become a part of the K-pop community and feel like I had K-pop friends. The reason why I've kept doing it this long, I'm not sure myself. It's just something that I thought I would get tired of doing after a while, but here we are. What's your most prized album you own and why? My OT7 signed Infinite album, which is literally an arm's reach. I probably should just grab it. This is my prized possession. This is my child. Your favorite title track and B-side from Monsta X? Favorite title track I already said was either Shine Forever or All In. My favorite B-side, probably, I don't know if this is really ranked as my favorite one. Oh, Queen is actually my most like high ranked one. I didn't think it was going to be Queen. I guess it's Queen. I thought it was going to be From Zero. Top 10 boy groups or girl groups. I do have videos that I uploaded at the beginning of this year. Top boy group, top girl group. I will link those. Favorite song from a produce series, 100% Rumor. Move is probably my second favorite that's ever come out of a produce series. If you could only keep 1/10 of your collection, what would you keep and why? My Ults albums, and then that's honestly probably more than 1/10 of my collection, to be honest. Super Junior's Korean discography, Infinite's Korean discography, at least one version of Monsta X's everything. A-Pink and F-School don't have many albums, so I would just keep all of that Korean discography at least. And then if I could keep anything after that, it would be my signed albums. How much room does your K-pop collection take? I've watched your shelf tour bid, but I was always curious how much room they actually take up. I honestly could have more shelves and spread it out more. I wish I could spread out my collection more, but I have 2 shelves in this room, and then I keep a jewel case shelf that I think can hold up to like 200 jewel cases. It's not full. And then I have 2 or 3 shelves, or I have a shelf in the other, in my the room that connects to this room. But I really want, when I move out, I really want to reorganize it. And watch any good K-dramas lately? I watched Sky Castle. That was crazy. Her Private Life, I relate to her so much. Do you ever think what your life would be like without K-pop? I do. I think my life would be super different. I literally do not know what I would do with my time. Have you ever thought about doing music video reactions? I used to. Copyrights with music video reactions are like insane. And also, I usually watch my music video reactions at 6 a.m. laying in my bed. So I usually watch my music videos 6 a.m. laying in bed. One of the questions is, what's your favorite concert experience, which I've answered. Have you ever had any high touch experiences? No, not until concert I'm going to in August. This is my first high touch ever, and I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Favorite Suju era is Bonamana or Sexy Friend single. Favorite 17 song ever. God, I love their music so much. According to my iTunes, it's Thanks. I've been filming for almost an hour. I think I'll do like 10 more questions and then we're gonna say goodbye. How long have you been into K-pop? For 10 years. What is something you wish K-pop aunties understood about K-pop? Just because it's in Korean doesn't mean it's not good music. Because I feel like the same people who don't like K-pop and say that it's weird listening to music in a different language are people who listen to songs like Despacito and are like, oh yeah, this is such a good song. And I'm like, but do you understand it? Or they're people who I've found listen to like rap music and you cannot understand what the rappers are saying, even though it's in English. So I'm always like, but what did he say just right there? And they'll be like, oh, I don't know, like whatever, it's just a good song. And I'm like, okay, so why do you not like K-pop? I mean, it's fine to not like K-pop if you just don't like K-pop. What are your dreams and passions in life? What are you studying now in school? Dreams and passions, that's a lot. That's a very pressured question. Right now I just finished a certificate program, a plant-based teaching certificate program for plant-based nutrition. Super cool. Learned a lot of fun things in that. And then I'm currently in a master's in nutrition program. My undergrad was animal science with a minor in nutrition. I want to be a dietitian. A plant-based dietitian is currently my hopes and dreams. I still have a while to go before I get there. I have at least one more like school I need to go to after my master's to do this. But yeah, so that's my hopes and dreams as a 24-year-old who still really does not know what she's doing and lives at home. So what were your expectations for YouTube? My expectations were to have like 4,000 subs forever. That was really it. I was pretty happy with that. What would you like to see more of in K-pop or from certain groups? I would like to see more like artists, K-pop artists collabing with other K-pop artists. VIX and Hyungwon and Monsta X collabing. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's awesome that we have people like from different groups collabing, because it used to be a thing all the time. And I feel like now people are more interested in collabing with Western artists, and I really miss those like K-pop collabs. What was the process of becoming a Woollim stan? So I actually became a Woollim stan before Infinite debuted. I was a huge fan of Epic High when they were under Woollim. And the reason I found Infinite was because They were in, some of the members of Infinite were in a music video Epic High released. I think the music video was for Run. And so they were trained, it was a K-pop boy group trained by Epic High was how Infinite was advertised pre-debut. And I was like, a boy group trained by Epic High is going to be lit. Like, they are going to be so incredibly talented and release such good music. Needless to say, what they released was not what I was expecting from a boy group trained by Epic High. I adored Epic High, and then I adored Infinite, and then I ulted Infinite, and then I adored, like, everything Woollim has ever released, I've adored. So I've just always been a big fan of Woollim and all of their solo artists and their other groups that are no longer with them. I've just always been a really big fan. So I call myself a Woollim stan. What do you do at work? What do you do for a job? So I work, my life is like a crazy mess because I'm studying nutrition to become a plant-based dietitian, but I work at an animal hospital in their rehab department. So I am a animal rehab technician, essentially, is what I do. So I do like treatments and stuff. If you could pick any K-pop group to go to a fan meeting to, who would it be? My next non-ult priority to see a group live is I really want to see 17 live, and I really want to see Luna live so bad. I really wanted to see Day 6, but I cannot go to Day 6. Their concert times are just awful. What Korean food do you like the best? So I'm vegetarian, which means that I can't eat a lot of Korean food now, which is very sad. But when I ate meat, I really liked jjajangmyeon, which I know is like Korean Chinese food. But kimchi, I guess, is my favorite Korean food. I love kimchi. Every time I see it on a menu at a restaurant, I will order a side of kimchi and I'll just eat it plain. I don't even care I love kimchi. It's so good. But I've had a lot of different Korean food. I like it because I like spicy food, and I like food I like noodles a lot, and Korean food also has a lot of noodles in it. Tteokbokki is so good too. I love tteokbokki. Who do you think has the most beautiful light stick? My favorite light stick, I think, right now is, I really, really like 17s. The ones that I don't own. I like A-Pinks too. I think A-Pinks is super cute. Do you have an OTP, or is there a ship you love, hardcore believe in? I used to be not a really big shipper. I've never read fan fiction in my entire life because I don't know. I just am not a fan of fan fiction. My OTP, Eunhyuk and Donghae, that's like my OTP. Eunhae and Woogyu from Infinite, Wooyeon and Sungyu. But I don't really like ship people anymore. If you could bring back one disbanded group, who would it be? Oh man, I don't know if I want to say Kristen actually. Oh, because there's so many. I miss Madtown. I wish Madtown had had more of a discography before they disbanded. I wish TVXQ025 had spent more time together. They released some of the most quality music I've ever seen in my entire life. What concepts do you dislike? I like summer concepts. I like hip-hop-y kind of concepts. I like dance song concepts, Latin inspired music, also tropical house. I don't like Christmas music. I don't like Christmas music. I don't like ballad title tracks really all that much. And I don't like songs that I don't like comebacks that don't have real words in the chorus like the majority of YG's music. So are you excited for CIX's debut? I'm so excited. I really, like, during Produce was not the biggest fan of Bae Young. I thought he was cute and cool and whatever, and he was talented and, you know, deserved to be in the group. I am so excited for the 2 YG Treasure Box boys that are in this group. That is like 90% of the reason why I'm interested in their debut, and I pre-ordered their album because I need to support those 2 boys because they're so freaking talented. And the other 2 boys in that group, I don't know a lot about them musically yet, but they're super cute and super funny, and yeah, so I'm really excited for CIX's debut. First light stick I ever got was my Yobong, because when I bought tickets to see Infinite, I was like, I need their light stick. Have you ever felt too old for K-pop? No, but I think it's because I surround myself with a lot of fans who are my age or older than me. Not a lot of my friends are much younger than me. Most of them are a year or 2 years younger than me, so I never really feel old for K-pop. Also, I get asked all the time if I'm over 18, so you know, I got asked, I wrote about this on Twitter. I was flying with my dad to go to my sister's graduation from college, my younger sister's graduation from college, I'm 24 years old. I scanned my ticket to get on the plane, and the lady asked if I was traveling alone today or if I was traveling with an adult. And I was like, and I told one of my clients that I had a glass of wine before getting on my flight back from vacation so I would sleep. And she goes, but are you over 21? And I was like, I'm 24. So the fact that I look so young, I never really feel like I'm too old for K-pop, because I think a lot of you think that I'm a lot younger than I actually am. Did you ever imagine hitting this many subscribers when you started your channel? Also, what inspired you to create content outside of unboxings? No. I've never considered that I would be at 20,000 subscribers. Never in my life have I ever thought that I would be at 20,000 YouTube subscribers. Ever. That's so many people. That is literally so many people. When my channel started blowing up, I was waiting for everyone to just unsubscribe after it started blowing up. I was like, it's gonna happen. What inspired me to do content outside of unboxings was that this channel was made for me to do whatever I wanted to do K-pop related. So I really have just always stuck to whatever I want to do. It doesn't have to be unboxings. That is definitely one of the parts of my channel that has made me grow to this size. So I definitely think it's a core part of my channel, but I don't like just doing unboxings. I really like just filming whatever I want to about K-pop. So yeah, my first video on this channel was not an unboxing. It was a top 10 boy groups and girl groups video, actually. So a talking one, because I used to talk during them. How do you feel about the rumored new girl group Stone and Pledis are putting together? I don't think it's happening anymore because Kang left Pledis. I don't think that's a thing anymore. What is the hardest thing about maintaining a YouTube channel while working full-time? I think it was perfectly manageable, and I still think it's pretty manageable. I think the hardest part is replying to comments because I don't work with my phone nearby. I'm not allowed to have my phone out at work. Also, I do water therapy, so it's not really ideal to have my phone out near the water anyways. So I think the hardest part is like keeping up with comments, because I do like to respond to most of them. But sometimes I don't get back to all of them. I think that's the hardest part. Really, filming and editing is not that hard because a lot of the times I batch film and edit as I can. So I think that's the hardest part. And then the last question, let's choose one more question to do because this is over an hour now I've been filming. So if you had to choose one of your ults to be stuck with on a deserted island and you only had a month to figure out how to escape, who would you choose and why? Do I only get one person or do I get an entire group of people? If I'm stuck on an island with Monsta X, that's it. We're over. After school will not be there because there's no after school anymore. I think I would choose Infinite, OT7 Infinite, because there's no way that Sungyu would allow himself to be stuck on an island with Hoya. So Sungyu would find a way out. It would take him a minute and he would complain the whole time, but he would figure it out. If I'd only choose one person, I would choose Sungyu. He would get us out of there. I believe in him. Actually, no, I would choose Sungyeol because he's been on that show so many times. Law of the Jungle, he would have us covered. It would be great. Question I'm going to answer. There's a lot more here, but I've been filming for an hour now and I'm sorry. What do you do with your posters and why did you decide to go vegetarian? This is my last question for sure, because I think this is an interesting question. It's something I get asked a lot, but I don't talk about a lot. What I do with my posters, because in helping me motivate myself to move out, I don't hang up my posters because I feel like that'd make me feel like I could just stay here forever, and I really don't want to do that. So right now they're all in my closet. They all sit in my closet in a box. Also, most of the posters that I get these days are an accident. I usually don't order albums with posters. And then what made me decide to go vegetarian? I've been vegetarian for 4 years. It was 4 years this past July. I became a vegetarian because I have never really enjoyed eating meat. It's just been one of those things that I felt like I needed to do. You know what I mean? I've never enjoyed it. I've always felt pretty sick after eating meat. I don't really digest it very well. And there's a lot of times that I will choose vegetarian option, would have chosen the vegetarian option anyways. I also love things like tofu. I love beans. I love lentils. I love vegetables. I was that child that was like 3 years old that loved broccoli, and my mom was like, what's wrong with this kid? We're not sure. I never liked chicken nuggets very much. I've always thought chicken nuggets are disgusting. I don't really like steak that much. I never really ate steak that much. So it was one of those things that I was in college and I had the opportunity to be vegetarian. So I tried it one year for Lent to give it up for Lent. And then after Lent, I stayed vegetarian for a little bit. This is my freshman year of college. And then I ate bacon pizza one day when I had a weak moment, and that was it for that. I started being vegetarian again because I was trying to lose weight. And so I became vegetarian again and was like, well, if I start feeling weird or whatever, I'll go back to it. But I've never felt weird about it. I'm currently in the process of cutting dairy out of my diet because that also makes me feel pretty awful. So it was really more for just like feeling good after eating a meal. And I feel the best when I eat a mostly plant-based meal. So it wasn't really for ethical reasons. It wasn't really for environmental reasons, though it's become part of why I'm vegetarian and why I won't go back to eating meat. Also, I don't miss it. I really don't miss meat at all, ever. The only weak moment I've ever had is wanting a Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich, because before I went vegetarian for the second time, I think it was before my junior year of college, would eat those pretty regularly, but they're not good for you. Like the only meat I ever really enjoyed was spicy chicken wings. And honestly, buffalo cauliflower is so good. It's the same stuff. But yeah, that's why I'm vegetarian. I don't care if you eat meat around me. I am not going to sit there and tell you, I mean, once I become a dietitian, I will, but I will not if you're a client of mine, sit there and tell you why eating mostly meat is why not, because it just makes me feel the best. And in my job especially, I need to be eating foods that make me feel energized and not like I need to lay down forever afterwards. Also, I was never able to eat anything that had an eye on it. Like those fish that, I could never. If my food was staring at me, couldn't. Also, if I was eating a burger or a steak and it was like bleeding, I could not do it. Never have been able to do it. So yeah, but that's really it for this video. Thank you so much for 20K. I'm sorry I didn't answer every single one's question, but I tried to answer as many as I possibly could. But yeah, thank you so much. Next time I will do a live stream because yeah, this is gonna be a long video to edit. Hopefully I can do it at some point in my life. But yes, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye.